Hi everybody, my name is Dave Marsh, and in today's open house, we're going to speak about when your clients aren't able to log into OneHome. Now, as you probably already know, before I begin, I'd first like to mention that because each LS may have slightly different requirements, the system that we'll be using during this tutorial may differ slightly from the one that you're currently working with. Nevertheless, the functionality is the same, and for the most part, whatever you see during this tutorial, you'll easily recognize in your own system. And today's question comes from Elizabeth, who writes, "Client states that OneHome will not recognize his email or password and cannot access the portal and leave notes or favorite homes." So this is actually a fairly common question, and I'd say 9 times out of 10 it's because the client's landed on the login page but hasn't yet activated their account. So what do I mean by that? When you first send properties to your client from Matrix, your client will receive an email notification. Now, when they select the notification link, that takes them directly to the default version of OneHome. Now, why do I say default? Because there's actually a couple of different versions of OneHome. There's a default version and a password protected activated version. Now, we're not going to get into the differences between the two because there's already an entire video dedicated to that, which, on a side note, you can access from here or in the description below. But I will say that in short, if your client only uses the default OneHome account, then there's really nothing for them to log into. And that makes sense, right? Because their OneHome portal hasn't yet been activated. And as you know, only the activated users need to log in to access their additional features. All right, so from OneHome, they'll know if they're using the default version because there's an Activate Account button that's still visible. And again, we're not going to go through the process of actually activating the account because, again, that's already included in the video that I just mentioned. I will say, however, that through the power of editing, there's a sign-in button, and this is what your client will see if they've already activated their account and they need to sign in. So at the beginning of this video, I said that 9 out of 10 times your client is not able to log into OneHome because they haven't yet activated their account. Well, actually, I don't know if that number is accurate, but it does happen a lot. So if your client has activated their account and they still can't log in, then the only other reason for that is because they're using the wrong login credentials. In other words, they're either using the wrong email address or the wrong password. And sometimes clients have multiple email addresses and they forget which one is associated with their OneHome account. So remember, the email address that they use has to match the one where they receive the email notifications from Matrix. And of course, it goes without saying, if they're using the correct email address but the wrong password, then that will qualify as a login issue as well. So just have them follow the forgot password link, and that will send instructions to their email address for them to change it. All right, so just to recap, there's 2 versions of OneHome. There's a default version, and there's an activated version that includes additional features and functionality. Only the activated users need to sign in. And if your client can't sign in, it's either because A, they haven't activated their account, or B, they have activated their account, but they're not using the correct email address or the correct password. Anyway, great question, Elizabeth. Hope this helps clear it up. Be sure to subscribe and be notified whenever new open house videos are posted. Take care.